Hi, thanks for checking out the video for my 1977 TT500 Resurrection. And I say resurrection because I don't restore, I just make running motorcycles, good running motorcycles that are mechanically sound. When I'm done with this bike, everything, all the controls will work right, the engine will run right, it'll carburate correctly, and it should run pretty decent and sound pretty decent. So, brief history on the bike. We got it with another XT500 at a garage sale. Neither bike had titles, but we went through the program with the state patrol here in our jurisdiction, and we've got the paperwork in order. It takes 3 years to get a title, but we have registration with ORV tabs, so we can take this bike to any Department of Natural Resource riding area without issue. Okay, because this is an informational video, and I intend to go through the exhaust, the timing, and the carburation. And when you're putting together one of these bikes that's been sitting for decades, it generally comes down to the carburation. So, because I respect your time, and I'm busy too, I'm going to try to keep this video very short and direct, and hopefully it helps someone out there. When this rear wheel stops spinning, I should be done with my video. Okay, so first, it came without a carburetor. This is what you see is how I got the bike. So because it has good compression, I just took the seat off. I'm going to set that down right here. Because it has good compression and it has spark, I'm going to carburate it. I'm going to start by making sure that it runs without any unusual noises. So I've sourced, through a friend, I have 3 38 millimeter VM Makunis, plus a carcass for another one. And I was able, also on the sweet hookup, I was able to source a couple cables. And they say with the TT500, it's important that you have a right angle tube adjuster coming off the top of the slide. Coming off the slide. This one has a 90. I think that's really what you want. I have a 45. I have a couple 45s. And like I say, I have a few carburetors to choose from, access to some jetting. I haven't taken the float bowl off yet, but I think they take hex Makuni as opposed to round slotted. Okay, and so, oh, my tire's stopping quick. I might have to spin it twice. So what I'm going to do with this bike is first I'm going to get the carburetor on there and sorted just enough that I can get it to run well enough to determine that the engine is okay. No profuse leaks, or mostly no knocking or unusual noises, that the motor is solid and worth continuing moving forward on this bike. And once I've determined that the motor is sound, I'm going to continue the exhaust. So, back to the carburetor real quick, try to keep from jumping around. I also sourced some used pod filters. I recommend a foam filter. I absolutely discourage anyone from using a pleated paper filter or a pleated filter on a dirt bike. It's just bad practice. With these filters, you can wash them and re-oil them, and it's going to be fine. So for the exhaust, I have a bunch of stuff to choose from, and it came. Yeah, I'm going to give it another spin. There you go. Okay, for exhaust, the bike came with a 1.5-inch head or 1.75-inch head pipe, and I think stock is 1.5 inches. And this is called the big bore head pipe, but I don't think this engine's ever been disassembled. I think it's all stock. But that's what I have. I'm trying to not really throw any money at this, and so I have to make a mid pipe and come up with a muffler. So I have some. So it's pretty tight in there. If you look at that mid pipe has to come right through here. So the easiest way to go, I have this selection of working materials. And the easiest way to go is if I take this, use this shorty right here and run it through there. But that's difficult because I don't want it to be obnoxiously loud, and it's just wide open hollow. Then I've got this other cone, which is a longer taper, and it has a flange at the end, so I can make my own reverse cone and put whatever core in it that I like. And it's kind of it's like copper plated, like if you're going to have it chrome plated after this. So I can do something like that. And I also have a FMF factory 4.1. I think it looked like a turd in a punch bowl, but guys will take and cut these off and shorten them up, and they work pretty decent, but I don't think they look very good. And I come up with this thing. It's pretty light. I think it's off a Chinese bike or something. I don't know. But it's not spark arrested. Then I come up with this thing. This is off a Honda, some type like a CRF 230 or something. It's spark arrested. It's heavy. It weighs like 10 pounds, but if I shortened it up and kept it spark arrested, it'd probably get a lot lighter. Plus, I'm not going to use any of this head pipe. It's still going to be heavier than most, but I mean, it's got the spark arrested symbol on it, which is worth something. So in case I ever get hassled in the forest, I can say it's spark arrested. And then I've got some stainless steel head pipes that I can cut up to make the mid pipe. So it's going to be tricky. That mid pipe needs to run pretty parallel to this rear subframe section. Needs to run about an angle like that and then turn directly outboard. So it's going to be tricky. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be difficult. But what I intend to do with this video series, and this is video number 1, part 1, is I'll determine that the engine is sound, but I won't tune the carburetor yet. I'll move right over to the exhaust, and I'll get the exhaust tacked up, and I'll make another short video. And then I'll put it all together and make another video of it running with the carburetor sorted, and I'll give you all the jetting details on the carburetor. I have a rough idea of what they are now, but I don't know for sure. I need to test it myself with my own configuration setup, and then I'll get back to you. We'll give you the full details. So yeah, because the TTRs are worth a fair amount of money, regardless of whether I make it run or not, I don't normally do this. First, I normally make sure that the engine is sound before I even continue. But because these bikes are somewhat sought after these days, I went ahead and bought some parts. And I needed a front number plate, and I just bought a repop. It was like 11 bucks on eBay. And I sourced this rear fender, and I could have bought a repop for probably $30 less, but they're only original once. So I bought an old OEM fender with a couple extra holes in it. I'll put a sticker across that or whatever. But that is the correct fender for a 1977 TTR or TT500, and it came with the hardware. But it wasn't cheap. That was $100 delivered. By the time I got it to my doorstep, tax and shipping, that rear fender was $100. And then this deal, these guys, I think I got a little better deal on this. It was actually from the same seller, but these were $100 to my doorstep for both pieces included. And they came with the correct hardware. They're in decent condition. There's a little burn and a little crack right there, but these are pretty nice OEM parts, and they have the correct quarter turn fastener on there. So I like them. I'm happy with them. And they also have a complete graphics kit with the 500cc emblems, black black backgrounds for the side covers and the number plates, and the emblem for the tank that says, you know, TT5 or TT Yamaha right here. And I think this tank, I think it's okay, you know, because these are supposed to be polished aluminum right here. But for now, because this is going to be a survivor bike, not a restored bike, I'm probably just going to put the stickers right there and just run it. I just want to run it. So it was missing the rear brake pedal. I got that I found that on eBay. By the time I paid taxes and shipping, it's $50 delivered, but it's a pretty nice part and I didn't realize it. It looks like a forged piece. If you look at the shape of it, you know, with the ribbing and all that, and the strike marks, it appears to be a forged part. So I'm pretty happy with that. And it was also missing the counter sprocket cover, and I sourced that. It's broken. It's missing part right here at this end, and it came with the correct bolts. You know, it goes right on there. You can see that extra mounting down there where it's supposed to go, but that's okay. I have the resources to be able to repair that, and I will. Missing a kickstand, but you know what? I've got two goodie boxes here, and there's quite a bit of parts. I think there's a kickstand in that one, and I've got levers and controls and a bunch of stuff in this one. I've got quite a bit of parts for this thing. When I put the big carb, oh yeah, I already mentioned, yeah, you need a right angle. If you look up there, you can see the upper frame tube. You need a right angle. You need right angle coming off the top of the carburetor. And you lose the stock throttle assembly. You go to a single pole instead of a push pole, and then a separate kill switch, probably on the left handlebar. So this bike appears to be relatively low hour. I mean, this foot peg's bent up, but I have another one in the ditty box over there, and looking at the wear on it, it really doesn't seem to have any wear on either side, and not much wear on here. No real paint rubbed off the side cases. If you look at the fork leg, well, there's some little pitting where water got underneath the clear coat, but there's no dings from any rocks or anything, so I don't think it's ever been raced. Looking at this side again, you know, not very much paint rubbed off the frame. The foot pegs are sharp and not much wear on the foot peg rubber. No paint missing off the side cases. I think this is a pretty low hour bike. I think it's going to be okay. So stock shocks, stock forks. Haven't even had the tank off it yet. This bike's going to be a runner. Check out my next video. It should be more informative. It should give you a way better idea of how to construct a nice looking exhaust. And I'll have the carburetor on there, and hopefully it'll be a runner. Maybe we can pop it off. But there it is, 1977 Yamaha TT500. Timeless machine. Very nice. It's going to be an unrestored restoration with all the patina, but it'll be totally mechanically dialed in every way. So check back, watch for part 2. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.